Welcome back to News with My Fiance, Raw, live, in person, live wall with Morgan Jones and myself, DJ Ambush. We're reporting live from the 5 alarm fire that is indeed Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, it's on fire right now.
Currently on fire. Still, yes.
The smoke, how can we breathe?
Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your support. Be a part of the Text Chat Fam squad and join the conversation in the chat.
Shout out to our studio sponsors, L&J Industries, for providing this dope space each week. Shout out to our production team, Kyle of Residual. Okay.
Kyle of where?
Yep.
Where's he from?
Kyle of Residual Audio, Jess and Russ, and our remote quality controller, Michelle, for making sure that this show happens every Monday. And of course, shout out to y'all for listening, watching, and staying engaged with us.
Kyle, you see how she's doing you like a total stranger.
Unbelievable. No, not even
now,
a little bit.
Before we get started, fiancés, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and ring that bell so the algorithm notices. Be a member, become a member over at patreon.com/newswithmyfiance to support the ever-expanding show. We just want to be able to spend more time with you and pay our bills at the same time. So now, let's get the quality time popping.
Yeah, let's have quality time.
Is this about Kyle?
It's about you.
Don't make this show about him. All right? Let's not.
Same? Question mark?
What's good, y'all? What's good? What's happening? What's happening?
I have to deal with this.
You do. It's amazing.
Is it amazing? Well, we can.
For me. Are you telling me you're not joining me in this amazingness?
Are you not entertained? Is that what you're trying to go for right now?
A little bit.
Tiny bit. I'm a tiny bit entertained.
Man, this is it's gonna be an amazing show tonight. We have our first in studio guest. Hello.
Okay. To be fair, not our first in studio guest, but our first inside studio guest.
Everyone else has been on here has been a co-anchor.
That's what I'm saying. Well, but it was Lily.
She's a co.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So she's not a guest.
Oh, we're saying the same thing, but we're using different distinctions.
Yeah. Like
it's kind of what we do. Just say the same things with different words. And then, were we arguing? I don't think so, actually. I think we said the same thing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yes.
You feel good about it?
Feel great about it.
Wonderful.
Feel really
Today is big.
Yeah. Historic.
We do. We have our first inside studio guest. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to give you a big introduction in this moment. And depending on how we feel after the break, maybe you don't get a huge introduction, but I'm going to do what I do for the energies that
balloons.
are.
I got balloons I'm doing. Air horns, balloons, confetti. I might light a doobie.
All of these things are lies, and the only reason I know that is that you don't have any of these things at your disposal.
You haven't seen them.
I don't believe you.
So because you have them,
do you have them? Answer the question.
Huh? The absence of evidence does not equal the evidence of absence.
Thank you, conspiracy theorist. Do you have them?
Yes.
Are you lying? Your body language says yes. Your energy says yes.
I don't know what this inquisition is about.
Wonderful.
Just being interrogated.
It's fantastic.
It's supposed to be equally yoked. This doesn't feel like that. You're just taking all these types of, shots at me, leveling charges. I think we got someone in the chat.
Leveling charges.
Yeah. In this administration,
never outies in any. Hi, Michelle.
I wouldn't expect that from you while under this administration. I mean, really,
Well, I don't expect any of this from you in this economy. How about that? Huh?
Fair enough.
How dare you do this to me under capitalism? Yeah, you sit with that one. Back to we have a guest tonight.
That was rough.
Later in the show.
I can't come back from that one.
We have a guest tonight. Artist, visionary, most recently, big things that you may have been like, I've heard that. Open House, Exit the Maze. We have the incomparable Cole Reed with us later this evening.
Yes.
Right after the break. And I mean right after it. So
Directly.
Be here back from the break before I'm back from the break. Be ready because it's It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
If we get to it. And I don't know that we will. We do have a story for later, and that is Sneaky Links, the cops in New Orleans that have quite the entanglement with a crime prevention nonprofit, which is a way to say Minority Report. And it turns out they've been secretly surveilling everybody over there, just watching everything and arresting folks with it.
Like surprised and not surprised at the same time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like, when what's it called? Spot shotter?
Shot
spotter?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't. And then they're like, well, we're going to consider it.
Yeah.
I mean, as a city, we might as well just, be hip with the now. This is that. It is not that, but it is part of that mega surveillance AI doing the job of investigators, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And this story is awful. It's just awful.
Well, yeah. Well, let's see if we can get to it.
Oh, yeah. And if we don't, then holler at us Thursday morning, because we can talk about that for the entire radio show if needs be.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was super busy today and was trying to get certain things done before we were here in this month. Spoiler alert, didn't get them done. It's just, Jess, as a person who worked with me for many years, knows that's exactly what can happen when Morgan is doing as much as she possibly can.
Right.
And she still don't get it done on time. That said, I did happen to see that there was an announcement this morning. One Joe Byron has an aggressive form of cancer, and I kind of feel like that was happening before yesterday or today.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And I got the not pleasure of seeing one Mr. Clyburn explaining that, we were worried about the way that he was acting from that debate. But other than that, I thought he was fine. I thought he was fine. He probably is fine, even though you're telling me right now he got this big aggressive cancer. He's probably still fine.
I have such a disdain for Clyburn.
He's gotten in the way many a time.
I'm just suppressing my desire to call him by a different name.
Good work.
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
Yeah.
What I haven't seen or heard is a lot of people giving too much compassion to this, and I'll just say thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Shout out to AJ. She said, not me showing up for the raggedy story.
It was for you, AJ. It was literally for you.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Seven in the chat, said excited to see Cole Reed on your show. Hey. Yes. So are we.
Exactly.
Incredibly excited for that.
Exactly.
While we're doing shout outs, I do want to give a shout out to the Mercury and to every single body involved in the Blackout, a 5-year retrospective on Portland's racial justice movement. This is a joint publication from Donovan Scribes and the Portland Mercury. The homie Max Smith has a piece on abolition. Bruce Poinsett writes about racial justice work in the suburbs and during that time. And that's the changes and the or not so many changes. Justice Raji reminds that accountability is a practice. It is not just a word that we throw around. And formerly incarcerated Christopher Lambert imagines what his life could have been had he had investment and mentors that looked like him rather than over-policed and underfunded neighborhoods. And Jenny Moore makes the case for giving birth and building your village in this destructive, chaotic world. And of course, Donovan Scribe has multiple pieces throughout this. There's a poem, there's an article.
Nice.
Links will definitely be in our Instagram stories. We will also get those into the description of this video when it goes up. I spent a very good portion of the day reading a bunch of what my fellow Black Portlanders were feeling and how they have adjusted,
Right.
what they have seen.
And this is also in print, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to make sure I grab a couple copies.
And I don't know. There are so many different articles from Black Portlanders. I don't know if every single one of them is in print.
Okay.
You know, I don't know about that.
The way Donovan described it, I think I saw something in the Instagram. It's like a magazine within the American.
Oh, super dope.
Its own separate thing in there. So
very
looking
cool.
forward to that. Yeah, definitely want to check that out. If you haven't yet, make sure you grab one of those. Also, if you haven't yet voted,
it's time, baby.
Tomorrow, you got to turn those ballots in. If you need some guidance, if you watched last week's episode, you already know I am not involved in what is a very, very nicely put together voter guide. I just handled distribution. That was it. Team handled it. Voter guide is up. You can find that in our link tree on our website.
Our website is newswithmyfiance.com.
That is correct. There's a downloadable PDF version right there. And like I said, it's on the link tree. You can just pull it up there or cruise the website, spend some time on the website and read it there. But we've gotten some pretty good shares and responses from people that have checked it out so far. They found it pretty helpful.
Yeah.
We're working on some supplemental materials as well to go with that.
Yeah, there will be things posted tonight and tomorrow morning. So
Hello.
Right before that deadline.
So to be clear, we haven't voted yet either. But
I mean,
we're gonna take care of that tomorrow.
I filled my ballot out.
Did you?
Of course I did.
We filled our ballots out. So we're going to get that in the mail tomorrow. We're going to drop it off. We're going to do a drop off.
Gonna do a drop off.
Yeah, we both have our ballots filled out. So
did it together.
You know, just make sure you get yours done. Be a responsible member of the community. You know?
Do be a responsible member of the community, though. For everybody who's like, it doesn't matter who you vote for or I don't vote and all of those things. There is a very large part of me that hears you.
Right.
And there is a larger part that wants to explain to you that your local government is so impactful, as if you didn't know that the federal level is impactful. I mean, we're living under the Trump 2.0 is white supremacy V1.
Yeah.
You know, it's just let's get back to business for them. We're already living that federally. There are things that your state and your city can do to protect you in certain ways. Oregon has already made certain moves towards better access to healthcare.
Yeah.
We have a lot of room for opportunity, as they call it in a corporate world. There's room for opportunity in our housing. We got lots to work on there. But this is where we make change immediately. These are your immediate material conditions right in your community. So you got to be invested in being a part of that. So
yeah, it's literally the least thing you could do.
Yeah, like, especially if someone else compiles information for you.
Yeah. Well, it's the least thing you can do. I know it's it's the second least thing you could do. I guess the least thing you could do is share something on Instagram and retweet. But after that, as far as like actually taking action, you know, just, hey man, participate, vote. This is coming from someone that did not believe in voting about 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I was so disenfranchised with the Electoral College.
It was a little longer than 10, but you definitely were in that boat.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that boat sails back around. You know, like sometimes it's just like, yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the use?
I do find myself sometimes having to pull you back from the abyss.
We both talk each other out of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a rough go.
There are times where either one of us throws our hands up, you know?
Yeah. We had a really good conversation earlier this week. I found myself again coming off of, you know, trying to move a little bit better with some of the advice I got from C's a couple of weeks ago. And then, you know, MJ helped me come to a realization earlier this week with regards to the way I react to Trump voters and people that, you know, felt like it was better not to vote for Kamala for whatever the reasons were. and just the anger that I've been wrestling with since the election, because for so much of it, to me, it was just painfully apparent what was at stake. But I needed to be reminded, and I really appreciate you doing that. I need to be reminded that we're all existing in bubbles. We just are. And in my bubble, yeah, we know what Project 2025 planned. We knew what was coming down the pike. Right.
Determinations.
And to go from being a citizen to being someone whose status can be revoked at any fucking moment because I'm an anchor baby. Like it's like, yeah, there's a level of just like anger because you're Black in America. Then there's an additional level of anger because of the amount of people that felt like they, that I felt like they were taking a risk and just didn't get it. But then you were like, but if they didn't get it, then they didn't get it. And how can you be upset with people that honestly didn't get it? And it was like a hitting a brick wall. I was like, boom. Oh, shit. Here I am. Super pissed. This
is an interesting takeaway. I did not realize that was your takeaway from the conversation we had.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it really like brought my stress level down. It was like samba. For anyone that knows, I conquered my road rage with samba.
It's true.
It is. Yeah, it was like fucking
just
samba.
Play some samba, he'll chill right out.
What?
Doesn't actually matter where he's going now,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if you're, tailgating him or if you're in front of him pumping those brakes. Doesn't matter now. He's listening to samba, he's fine.
Yep.
I'm not really sure how that happened.
It's on some Sergio.
Yeah. Good to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My point in that conversation wasn't just necessarily that people don't know things. It's that people have. I don't have the same confusion or upset that you have, because I think that if your line is genocide, your line is genocide. And if the current administration is a part of that, and the person running for the position is not doing a good enough job explaining to you that they will be different than that, as much as the other things obviously matter, what's bigger than that in a lot of people's lives, right? Like, and so I don't feel comfortable being like, you did it wrong. You did it wrong because you didn't have the foresight to move past the biggest thing happening in our lives. Right. Like that was, I just don't really, I just don't really think that's a fair thing to do. And so because
my response was, doesn't matter who's in office, the genocide will continue. That shouldn't have been something you voted on. But then you made it very clear, like in this age, when have we ever had a front row seat to it? The images that we're seeing now, these images were hidden before, because these are the images that the military had.
Yeah, like, we didn't have social media, and you could not be 3 a.m. scrolling your phone and seeing people get blown up. Like that's not a thing.
No. Never before.
And so, I mean, I guess I'm gonna forever come back to that. Like when people were, what would I have done during slavery? You might just be doing it right now.
Facts.
And if that thing is nothing, I mean, you sit with that. You deal with that. You handle that scandal. If it's nothing, I'm sorry for you.
Right.
And that's also true for, I mean, this is not a thing that America as a country has been continuing the conquering the entire time I've been alive. We just have not been able to witness it in the same way that we are able to witness it now. And when you are able to put visuals to what is happening, it's a whole lot harder to just be like, let me go about my regular life.
I think it's
my regular American life. Let me go ahead and just vote like normal. Let me just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it.
Say in the course of human history, we've never been able to the entire world able to see
what's the same thing at the same time.
It's never.
Right.
Never. Nah.
Right.
No. So yeah, that again, being so entrenched in news just because of what we do, it's like I'm reminding you, you're constantly reminding me, it's like everyone's not doing what we're doing. Everyone is not watching and being consumed by the different headlines that we're consumed by. So it's like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you know about this? Like, people just don't, man. People just don't.
I guess my entire point is to try to, I am forever and always going to be very hard on people that are making it known that they are a problem, right? But at the end of the day, it is go hard on systems, not people.
Right.
And the reason it's go hard on systems, not people is we've been going hard on people. And what does that get us?
Right.
Right? Like, it isn't the individual's fault. It isn't, like that's just not what it is. We are all products of environment. We are all products of indoctrination. We are all products of so many different kinds of indoctrination on top of that, right? And depending on your different makeup and the community that you belong to, you're going to have different parts of indoctrination that comes with that. So what I'm trying to do is hold space for people enough that this is not about you as an individual. This is a thing that has happened to you. You have unlearning to do. You have new learning to do. And then we can talk about it. But those are the steps. It's not just like I make space for you and then be like, and so anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because it isn't that, that's not the deal.
Right.
It isn't that you just get room to continue to fuck up. The space is, are you doing something with it or not? Are you going to do anything with that space? Are you going to learn anything? Are you going to unlearn anything? Are you trying? It is very much the same as use any one of these abusive men as an example where folks will be like, but redemption is a thing. Yeah, and you have to do things to be redeemed. You, as the person who did the wrong, has to do stuff. So in the same vein, you as the person who doesn't know the thing that I'm not going hard on, you have work to do. There's unlearning and learning for you to do to be able to have a better understanding of how this actual world works.
And in that dynamic, shout out to Olay and Friends. They did a piece on Tory Lanez and discussing just that whole situation, right? And they started having a conversation, and one of them started talking about, in their friend group and in their community, how they have dealt with abusers and people have committed assault. And there's often this, well, let's just go beat them up. Let's do that first, and then we'll figure out, what are we going to do after that? But first thing we need to do is even the score. And while some of them are like, well, not that I'm against even the score, but even that call for redemption, people don't understand. You have to be involved in that work too.
Yeah, that's not redemption. Not somebody beating you up is not mean you were redeemed.
Right, but the actual redemption. So it's like this person needs help. And part of us, so many of us are like, you need to go get help. We are ostracizing you from community to go get help. How is that going to happen? You have to actually be in community with this person.
Still.
To hold them accountable.
Right, still. You don't just get to drop them off.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was like, so it's one thing to just say, okay, we need restorative justice. But if you're not part of that restoration, and are you actually in community with this person? Like what's the difference between what you're doing and what the criminal justice system is doing? By ostracizing them. And I'm like,
right.
That's the other heavy lifting involved with these issues.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah. None of the things are simple.
No.
The way that we have been conditioned to deal with them, which means just dealing with it, just allowing every Chris Brown to come right back into your community and do it again.
Bruh.
We have been conditioned to allow that. Like, no question. That is the, we'll make space for, well, he's learning. Or I don't know. Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you say to people that be beating on folks. I honestly don't. But y'all be making space for it, right?
Right.
we do not get to just say, here's the thing you go do, you go get better, you go get healed, and we'll see you on the other side.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. Luckily, Chris Brown is not a part of my community. I'm sure I have many Chris Browns in my community.
Right.
I am the person who is willing to be like, let's go through this thing together. And the reason I'm willing to do that is because I don't want harm to continue to perpetuate just because you got hurt feelings someplace.
Right.
Like it's never with the issue. The issue at hand is never the thing that caused that person to be who they are today.
Right. There's always factors.
There's so many factors that happen previous, and so we're not going to figure it out in a real quick moment. It's not going to be like, oh, you hate your mom, so then that's everything. Let's just talk about
that's
that.
How we got here. That makes sense.
Because what does that manifest to? And how do you treat women that look like your mom? And how do you treat women that don't look like your mom?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many things. We are not conditioned to be vulnerable with each other. We are not conditioned to be vulnerable with ourselves. We are not conditioned to actually say, there is something happening that needs to be paid attention to. I am get to the bottom of it. Let's pull the thread. Let's figure it out. Like, so you think that your issue is this? Let's just keep going. Let's ask some questions.
Which is the best place to be. I'm on the journey to get there. I'm on the journey to get there. Delaney, who's one of the guests on the show, she was like, when this thing happened, the other men in their community was like, yeah, we ain't fooling with Bull no more. We off him. He out of here. He can't hang with us. We're not doing nothing with him. And she's like, that's the exact opposite of what you need to be doing right now. And I was like, ooh, that is tough.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
That is hard. Like, whoa. So now it's because now there's additional work, right? I got to get over being around this person because now I got to talk to you about stuff. And I guess unpack why you're a monster, but it's like, whoa.
To be very clear, not everybody is called to this.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Not everybody can do this work. Like, I want to be, if this ain't for you, it ain't for you.
Everybody has their parts to play.
Everybody has their part to play.
Right.
But to be very clear, men have to be a part of checking men and calling them in. When we speak in generalizations, we know for certain men are not listening to women about how they should handle these situations because they don't. They're not listening to the women that they then force to do a situation. So they sure not listening to me, homegirl on the side, like, ooh, that's a bad one. No, you should probably do that. Like, that's not who gets listened to.
No.
So it has to be men. And that doesn't mean that every man is going to be good at this or that every man is fit for the job.
I am not. I'm just like bold. I'm stating where I am right now. Again, on my journey, y'all. On my journey.
Working on it.
I recognize that there was work to be done. A lot. Because right now it's like, woo.
I feel like your work that needs to be done is patience too. Like, you don't have the patience to be lied to from people that you know are lying.
Bro, we have you on camera. What are we talking about? See, now we got to fight.
See, and that's not going to do anything.
How do we get back to you denying it again?
I'll tell you that one of the most ridiculous things to do ever in your entire life is to argue with a man. Especially if he feels like his life is on the line.
Yeah, it's not gonna go.
Because holy moly donuts, y'all just don't like, it's just like checkout. Like, it's just a completely different scenario. There's movies playing. I don't know what's going on.
Right. They be lying to themselves. It's hard.
Oh, a lot.
They said Soulja Boy jumped up with the whole DDG thing. Talking about, couldn't be me. I'll put hands on you. You can't be treating that woman like that.
Oh, I was like, put hands on who, dude? Like, this
right.
is okay. So he'll beat DDG up.
Yeah.
Because he don't put hands on women, except for he just went through an entire civil suit.
Precisely.
For putting hands and other things on women.
Precisely. Yo, wild. Absolutely wild.
And this is me trying to give grace to the heavily testosterone. is that your best fighter? Like, is your best fighter someone who's like not me, but also you? Like,
right.
we gonna have to. So, Ambush, I'm just gonna say this.
All right.
For as much as you're like, couldn't be me, and I can't do it because I don't have the
tools yet. I gotta do the work.
You have work to do to get the tools, because
damn right. Because it's still on us.
It matters so much who the messenger is. And when the messenger is someone that you love, someone you respect, someone that you see doing things that you want, there's some aspirational moment. Like, even if it's just in regular conversation and not somebody's whole life, like that's who gets listened to.
Yeah.
And very specifically when it comes to men listening to men, like, I need y'all to be listening to men that mean it, not Kevin Samuels.
Joe Budden.
Thoughts and prayers. Or fucking Joe Budden or anybody on that show. Except for Mark. And then,
however long Mark's going to be on there. Like, for real.
Like, the only thing that we have at this point is that Mark is going to be like, yeah, maybe the earth is actually not flat.
Yo.
But like,
you just said something. Like, thinking about the top podcasts that Black people listen to. Within that whole gamut, it's just Mark?
I mean, not the whole gamut.
Shit.
I mean, but if you're talking about that big, when you're talking Joe Budden podcast, biggest Black podcast, like,
damn, son.
Yeah, no, in real life, we're fucking cooked. Like, there's no question. There's no question. Because just even watching them talk about, like, the Kendrick tour that they went to the tour. Just even watching them talk about that was like, I don't like it.
Wow.
I don't like it. I don't care about that opinion coming from that place anymore.
Right.
It isn't as valid as it once was. And it certainly isn't valid when it comes to any sort of interpersonal relationship things, no matter gender, but certainly it's a man and a woman. The Joe Budden podcast is literally a red pill podcast all of a sudden.
Yeah, real talk.
They are doing white supremacy and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. But they're definitely doing that. And I hate the fact that you can just add a woman in there and be like, and see.
We're not sexist.
Balance. 4 guys and a lady, balance. We did it. 6 guys and a lady, still balance.
We got a female in here with us.
It's a female. You got to be real extra with the fee part, because that's where your disrespect lives, Oh my God. That's a female.
Yeah. Shout out to all the men that have done the work already, that are in a better place than I am, further along in their journey. That can have these civil conversations with harmful members of our community. I'm going to get there.
Now you have to get there.
I'm going to get there. Don't you worry about it.
It is hard to understand how there can be violence in situations that don't call for it. And very specifically hard for, I think, and, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that for men, especially with your stature or more, who don't subscribe to that, I think it's hard for them to understand even that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you hit? What do you mean you right? What do you mean you?
It's a lot of talking. Why are we still talking?
There's a confusion.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you try to talk yourself out of this.
That, but there is also a common fucking denominator, and that common denominator is the dude in your friend group, the dude in your chat, the dude that you hang out with, the one you've known since 8th grade, the one you met 3 years ago. It doesn't actually matter. You have men in your life that are absolutely detrimental to women. You do. And pretending as if you don't is so much more harmful than you are even getting the credit for. Like, you are a part of that. You are not just complicit. You are more than complicit.
Yeah.
Because pretending that doesn't happen, pretending you don't know people in your circle like that, pretending like you don't know what's going, like that's perpetuating rape culture, perpetuating the way that we are able to even still have conversations about what was she wearing or why did she go there or why didn't she leave, and take the she out of it, the he. Who are the abusers of the situation? Who do you think is going to be the one that gets to call them in?
Right.
It's not going to be the people that they look at and go, pray.
Right.
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 So like, as much as it's hard and as much as people don't want to, every single man who already is in an understanding of we don't do that has to do better within your own community. And you just, it's just, that's it. Oh, there's a whole lot in the chat.
Agreed.
I don't know everything in the chat, but the first thing I saw was "Say that, Morgan." So
that's the first thing you saw.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
This is the first thing I saw.
Was it shout out to yourself?
There was more to it, but
nothing suspicious about that.
I saw my name. You know,
shout out to Ash on
that might
Facebook.
be the best way to get my attention. Throw an MOR there. I'm gonna be like, huh?
Shout out to Ash on Facebook as well as Will Harris, my homeboy King Amin. Nice.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
My Facebook is not up and running because problems.
Yeah,
you know,
we're gonna try to get up in the second half.
I blame Elon Musk personally, but you might say it's a Mark Zuckerberg situation. Nope, I blame him for everything. Elon has a problem, has a hand in.
Yeah, no.
That's why I can't log into my Facebook.
No. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. See, you got.
Oh, shout out to John in the chat. John said, "But every man cannot encourage it and or ignore it. Set standards with your male friends and expect them to meet it. If not met, you can move on."
So that's where I am, which is the issue. Right?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think you get to move on.
Right. So what you were saying before about like everyone, we all have Chris Browns in our community, right? And the first thing we do is we're verbally like we're opposed to it. Then when the situation presents itself, it's like, nah, we'll mess with you no more. And we move on. And we reorganize our circle in a way that keeps us in this hollow place.
Don't have the people that want to keep that person around.
Right. And that is escaping the work. So that's where I am now, because definitely there are people that I do not C's knows. There are people we do not mess with anymore because of the way they conduct themselves. And it's very easy to just be like, you're no longer my problem.
People in person, I mean in real life, music that you listen to.
Yeah.
Movies, TV, whatever your entertainment.
Yeah.
It is actually easier to just be like, I don't do those things anymore than it is to confront what it is that you're deciding not to do.
Yeah, especially when the way you want to confront it is not going to be helpful. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an actual solution. It's something that may do something for you. You may feel good getting that off your chest or what,
And you would.
Yeah, but then that person hasn't really changed. You haven't really, done any work. So, yeah.
Nah, that person got beat up.
That's it.
And what we can know from a whooping is that ain't gonna teach you as much as you think that it's gonna teach you.
You mean the whoopings ain't teach me?
Not in the same way that it was intended. Like it's like this is for this thing, and then I just got hurt. I don't know sometimes you don't know the difference.
You know what it does teach you is ways to navigate not getting another one.
Yeah,
that's it. You just like different maneuver. Okay, all right. Be a little slicker next time.
See, and this is the problem.
Right.
This is the problem right now. Right. Be a little slicker, but not figure out what you really need to learn. Could be the issue of humanity. I don't know. I'm not really sure who to ascribe that to.
Ash said, as a friend, if they're dumb and a creep, call them a dummy and a creeper and send out the bat signal when they come around. Let it be known. This was my friend who was terrible as fuck. Do not trash, but we hoping they'll do better and be better. and we have to be a part of them doing better.
Can I just say how important it is to very easily just say you don't want that? Like if this is a person that you know and love,
yeah.
I'll be quick to be like, that's not what you're looking for. It's not what you're looking for.
That ain't it.
Fun person, good, good in many ways. Not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You don't need to disparage if that's not what you're into. If you ask me, I'm likely gonna tell you. Like, I got a hard time just flat out lying. You know what I mean? I'm not good at that.
Right.
You're gonna know I'm lying off rip because there's something's going to tell you that I'm not telling the truth.
Right.
I can omit sometimes and be like, well, I've
heard
that person's great. I always have a fun time with that person.
Right.
I am very much, if you ask me about a situation, I am a wing woman to many a man.
You're a girl's girl.
I'm an actual girl's girl though. Like not the girl's girl that they be throwing out on the internet. I am an actual girl's girl. If a girl asks me, oh, your homeboy did it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, and that's not what you want. Like he's gonna be a lot of fun for you if fun is the number one on your list.
If future is what you're looking for.
If future is anywhere top 5,
probably not.
Turn it around, lock it up, don't even.
Yeah.
Because I am a set expectations kind of person. Let me set your expectations. If I had the opportunity for someone to set my expectations in many of the things in my life, I would have taken that. So like, yeah. Oh, you like so-and-so? Tight. Great dude. Not for the thing you're looking for.
Right.
Or what is it that you're looking for? Because if it's a long time, that's not or if it's a
good time,
maybe the best you'll ever have. I don't know. Looks fun from here.
Looks fun from here. So I've heard.
We be having a blast outside. But I don't know what that means on the inside. I don't know. I don't know what that means when you have dates. I don't know what it means when, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that person is then.
No, that's serious business.
There's a lot that we don't as people like actually think through when it comes to expectations, and we'll be very quick to be like, Claire Huxtable knew everything, so she should have killed Bill Cosby a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Cliff Huxtable. You know what I'm trying to say.
Bleach for sheep shot. Bleach for shot. Yeah, I got
you. There's yes, and you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things where you're gonna have to. That person may not know. And the more relationships that I have that I think that are deep relationships, and then find out maybe that person isn't who I thought they were, or they do things I thought they wouldn't do, whatever it is, I'm like, oh no, you could like not know that. So
you could not only could you not
and this
know,
is not absolving.
Not only could you not know, you could also not know how to handle it.
Oh, you could certainly not know how to handle it.
And just be paralyzed in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate that for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that for anybody that's happening to.
I'm going to shout out
paralyzation is a whole different situation, especially when it comes to people within your orbit. And I hope that you find a way to get mobile.
Definitely want to shout out Cassie and everyone that is testifying, because just some of the stuff that's coming out, I couldn't imagine having to revisit that in any capacity. Nevertheless, in a court, in front of a room full of people, reporters, and the person who did this to you, while they're fighting for their life, defending, saying that what you're saying isn't true. Like,
what if that person was doing this to you,
bruh?
What if while you were testifying about all of the abuse you received, that person was like,
so did he actually, are you hypothesizing, or did he actually do that?
Oh no, man's was in court. There's court drawings of Diddy with the heart hands.
Yeah, immediately it's like, we need those broken off. What do you mean?
You don't get hands anymore.
You don't know what to do with your hands. You don't get
hands anymore. Yeah, but he does. He still gets hands. He still gets to do what he wants until he doesn't get to do what he wants. You know?
Wild, super wild, yo.
So I don't want to like just jump off of that, but I do want to mention before we go to break that Prison Break season 2025. Did you know it was coming back? Because I did not know it was coming back. I did not know.
Wow. Tell us about it.
Prison in New Orleans or Louisiana? Louisiana.
Yeah.
10 incarcerated men were able to escape from this prison.
So we are out of here. He said, no more free labor for you.
My most favorite part of this is that they were able to break through. Like, we watched this on TV, and I don't mean this one, but I did watch this one. But like, I mean, Prison Break,
right?
The TV show. I feel like there's a bunch of others, but we'll just stick with that. Breaking out of the toilet or the sink, like you just get that, and now we're the Dannemore thing, Escape from Dannemore, which that's exactly what they did. They moved the beds and were able to like chisel through. That's right? Crazy. This was absolutely like remove the toilet and the sink, and look, it's just area and pipe behind, and so much easy that somebody had the unmitigated gall to write on that cell, "Too easy. LOL."
Are you serious?
Too easy.
That's wild.
That made Fits in the Tantrums feel away.
That's
too
wild.
easy. LOL. The two is not the right form of two, but that's fine.
Message received.
Message received.
Dang.
Too easy. LOL. And literally watching like the, what are they called? The superintendent or whatever they're called, the person at the jail. Like, and we won't stand for it. You did.
You had no option.
You stood. You
stood for it. You sat for it. You slept for it.
You didn't mean to. Whoopsie doodles. Whatever your feelings are about that. Wild. Man. So 10 people were able to escape. 7 people are still out there.
Dang. That's wild.
And this was something that I was not like prepared to hear. And I want to be very clear. I am a poor. Whichever camera's looking at me, I am a poor. I don't have $20,000 sitting in my bank account. But when they said that the bounty went up to 20 grand a head, I was like, that's not enough.
It's not.
And to be clear, I'm not looking for these people to get caught.
Right.
Hey, you want to privatize prisons, you gonna see what you get. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Put your money where your mouth is.
But
also don't.
But I'm legitimately like, I wouldn't look for. I'm not trying to apprehend. I'm not going to like, I was at the Walmart and the so-and-so happened. Like, because 1, I don't believe you're going to give me the money. But 2, I'm definitely not risking my life. Y'all not it isn't important enough to you. Is the way that I look at a $20,000 bounty from the federal government.
You see what happened with Luigi.
Is it the federal government? Maybe I should chill on that.
I think I'm a state. But you see what happened with Luigi and his bounty. Like,
you mean the entire military?
That person did not get paid. Like,
well, they definitely didn't get paid.
Yeah, and then that led to like
they were like, psych, we know everything. Moving on.
I think it was either Vice or Perfect Union. They did a whole story on what that whole system looks like and how people often don't get paid. It's like, yo, that is so wild.
And they often don't.
Often don't. You know who might get paid though? The January 6th insurrectionists might be getting reparations.
Oh, that's not real. That's not fucking real. That's not fucking real. That's not on my doc here that I'm looking at.
I know.
That's not on.
Yeah. Trump is considering reparations for them. I think he's already given them a tax abatement.
In what regard? Okay. You know what? I don't want to. I am a class solidarity girl. I don't want to start calling y'all a bunch of fucking names, but like, in what regard, you poor piece of shit, are you going to be like, this guy's gonna do it for me? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, it's wild. That's wild. Shout out to
abatement. They can't spell it. Taxes. Are you out of your mind?
It is break time. It is break time. We're gonna head to break.
Jess, do you know anything of this?
He's like, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, so
Well, y'all know
ballots
what
ballots
we'll talk about on Thursday.
Right. Ballots due tomorrow. Please go ahead. Do your part. Go ahead, vote. Take a look at our voters guide if you need some help with that. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We are at 109 subscribers now.
We need way more.
We're trying to get to 125 by today.
Your mom, your sister, your brother, your kids. They have YouTubes. I know it. Just subscribe. You don't even have to look at anything that we're doing. The babies don't care.
That's
it.
That's it.
Subscribe.
Yeah. And we will be back
with Cole Reed.
In 10 minutes.
Stay tuned.
Boom. And we're back. Welcome back to News My Fiance. Thank you guys so much for hanging out during the break.
They're being silly.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Silly.
Very.
I actually I don't know what I'm expecting during the break. I often I want to come back and what are they talking about in the chat? You guys don't talk about nothing. There's no recapping.
There's nothing happened while it was a good song.
Like talking to each other, maybe. I don't know.
Is Carlos here? I'm just wondering.
Los is probably stalking.
I'm just wondering.
You're probably stalking somewhere. But hey, we are back.
That's how you get a response from the break. Is Carlos being like, I like this song. Other than that, they on break too.
You right. Everybody on break. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
The chat don't pop when we're not there. Like,
what y'all eating?
That makes sense.
What y'all eating?
I really want to know what song Carlos likes. I'm curious.
Oh, it was Well, I forgot what I had on.
Week
before last.
It was a Cardi song.
What was it? It was the Jazz Is Dead album. Yes, Felicia E. Muhammad and Adrian Young. That album's fire.
I love that Jess absolutely refuses to use the mic. He's just like, that's not mine, and so I don't use it. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I love that you're just like, so anyway, this is not for me. I'm just gonna yell this shit out.
Morgan.
Yes, that's me. Are you out of your mind? Ambush.
Yeah.
Who do we have with us? Right in the center.
Man, I don't know who to laugh at or look at. I'm having my best time right now.
Quick, Michelle in the chat said, yes, we are old. We also need a break.
It's true. I apologize, Alicia.
That's all I needed.
I apologize.
So, to my right, who do we have? I started to do this earlier. Artist, visionary, intellectual, revolutionary. We have someone who has been a part of the community and has been, I don't know exactly how to say this, an elder without being an elder, if that makes sense.
A leader, for sure.
Yeah, a leader, but you know how leader is a great word. But there is a reverence that lives within being an elder. And this is where it gets tricky for me. You are not even close to old enough to be an elder.
I just turned 52.
Yeah.
Thank you for proving me correct.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm saying I'm just starting.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the energy and the intellect, the knowledge, the wisdom, the care, the compassion.
Heavy on the care.
Is as if you've lived 100 lives, right? And as if you've been here for a very long time in this very place, dealing with these very things. So when I say feels like, but isn't, I mean that in the way of just very technically, feels like an elder in the community.
I want to say thank you. And as Black Americans, we have lived 1,000 times per lifetime.
Okay.
There it is. It's how you start, y'all.
I
was right.
appreciate all the accolades, but I also had to learn how to fail. I had to learn to get back up, deeper. And so that is my greatest joy. And so just like our elders who then became ancestors, what made them wise, what I'm gaining is wisdom through failure and learning how to get back up. And so thank you. But that to me is even a greater accolade.
I just mean that the life has been lived, right?
Oh, shit.
the life has been lived, and the lessons have been learned, because we can live a lot of life and learn no lessons, right?
Yeah.
The lessons have been learned. They are being built upon.
Yeah.
And you can feel that when you sit next to you. You can feel that when you shake your hand. You can feel that when you get the privilege of giving you a hug.
The cold hug, bro. The cold hug, bro. You know, listen. People compliment me on my hug a lot. I get tons of compliments on my hug. Cole's hug, bro.
Now that it envelops your life somehow, and it means it.
And it's serious. It's not like, oh, hey, nice to see you. It's like, if you don't, and she won't let you go until you match the energy. Yeah, don't come with no fake ass hug. Bro. No, don't come with no fake ass hug, bro.
That's exactly it. Yeah, until you match the energy that's happening right there, because I could be too excited.
Fire.
The hug is not being let go of. I'm too excited, right? Yeah. And she's like, "No, I'm right here."
Yeah, bring it
right
in.
Here.
Bring it in. Settle yourself.
Oh, I'm so grateful
Get comfortable.
to be between you guys, because something that I also had to learn was to give less hugs so it could be more powerful, and so I could hug myself more.
Stop. This is a lesson?
You know, no, I'm sharing my experience. It's like, and so now the people that I hug, because I don't have it to give, because I had to learn to reserve.
Wow.
And that's what I got up my shut up and be still and create period. You know, which we
shut up, be still, create.
Yeah, shut up and be still. Sometimes I'm tired for me. And so, I mean, I need to take a nap for me.
Fire.
Talk
Fire.
to him.
You know,
I'm in
so
school,
learning to be still and to be quiet and just say, no, thank you. It's okay. And take 3 steps back, because not everybody's energy is for you. And I had to learn that too. You can't give from a reserve you don't have.
Write it down. I'm going to ask you to pause. Write it down.
Yeah, for
you
real.
Cannot give from a reserve you don't have. You have heard that in other analogies.
Yeah.
You get it. Maybe you don't get it. You cannot give if you don't have. And if you are living in a deficit and people are coming to you for more, you are still in a deficit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to have interrupted.
No,
it's
a conversation.
That is such a it's a bar. It's a bar.
It's legit. Like, put on your mask before you help someone else.
Yes,
it's the flight. It's the pre-flight check.
It is.
Yeah, we don't
even give ourselves the permission to take a nap for yourself.
Yes. I am the most sitting in my car and meditate before I go in my house. Before I go into my office. You know your energy ain't right, girl. Look in the mirror. Shit. Sit down.
Fix
still,
it.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
And to take it to the next step, I bought myself a little pop-up tent about 18 months ago. And if I need to stop and pop it up and sit outside for 15 minutes and zip myself inside, I will sit in.
That's fire.
And my cousin Shane, a clowns. She's like, "Oh, you need a little tent?" Yes, I need my little tent.
Stop. You will zip yourself inside the tent.
Leave me the fuck alone. The cold zone.
Fire. Real quick, just so you know, MJ, we are up on your page now.
Great.
Get that fixed.
I do good for that. I guess I'll let me open it.
Joyce says, "I love that."
Which Joyce?
Joy.
Oh, Joy. Hey, Joy. How you doing, boo?
In reference to, getting yourself set first, before,
because you have to.
Yeah.
Man,
we definitely understand the jokes of like parents, like, yeah, I just finished my nuggets in the car before I went in the house, right? But like, boy, that right there, the center myself before I go in my house, center myself before I go into this place, center myself before I go into work. Because my energy is not right.
That's right.
Right.
Before I soak, I started soaking once a week to take care of myself, because water is the stillest place for me, and it's the leave me alone zone. Please leave me the fuck alone.
Leave Cole alone
and
zone.
I had to learn.
Zone.
And so all of this, and I appreciate it, was from failure. When you go through something and your mental health isn't quite right, and we're not honest about it,
Mm.
because as Black people, we can't be, because we're being resilient all the damn time. I don't want to be resilient.
What struggle?
The second half, you know.
What
Right.
struggle? Never
Right.
heard of it.
You know, of
Right.
course.
You know,
And
know
so,
nothing about
know
it.
nothing about it, other than every day when you look in the mirror, every day when you leave the house, every day when you walk into your job, when you go to Safeway, anywhere you go. And I take that back. I was not trying to plug Safeway, because we need a check. You know,
Every single time.
No free pubs.
and so we have to take care of ourselves differently, and be verbosely honest about it. So the first person who had to exit the maze was me.
Okay.
See,
So before we jump into that,
you jumping ahead. This is what she do.
So Henry
ADHD.
Noble,
Segue queen,
Henry
and
Noble-
also slow it down.
Yeah.
You
No.
just dissed
See, I'm
us.
sorry.
Henry Noble
Yo,
just asked who is she? Who is Cole? So this is the perfect time. Let's get into it. Not just
Damn.
why you're here, how
Mhm.
you're here, and then what we got coming up.
and I will tell you that the I can only assume from the person that question comes from
Mhm.
is in a space of let us hear it from you,
Right.
because that is a person who does in fact know, or oh no, probably maybe doesn't. You haven't lived here in a long time, but is a Portland native, or
I'm not a native.
grown. No.
the
This
asking the
person
question.
asking
Mhm.
grew up here, knows Portland, and has been here in adulthood, but may not actually know in the last, 10, 15.
What you been up to?
And more than anything, let's hear it from you.
Well, the number one thing I would say that I just added to my resume was fort captain at my house, because I have kids. And so part of my healing was building forts. So mama,
Fort captain.
fort queen, any other royal you want to give it, but I build a mean fort.
Fort game.
Fortress.
Top notch.
Fortress. I like, ooh, fortress.
I'm
taking that
We're gonna
home.
find the rap name in there somewhere.
You know, I'm an entrepreneur, a catalyst, a creative. I'm an artist that does a little bit of business on the side.
Well, do I ask you for it to put in my pocket later so that I can say that I am an artist that does a little bit of business on the side?
I love it.
That's what I was.
That's hard.
And my business card says Gangster Joy. So it's not about what I own, what I do. Now, they always see us as gangsters. So 2 years ago, I'm not sure if it was about my mental health still being wavery as I came back, as I'm coming back. But I was like, if I'm going to be a gangster, I'm going to be the best gangster of joy. And so I needed to be that gangster of joy for myself. So my business card says Gangster of Joy. No, I'm serious.
Fire.
My Cash App, hint, hint, is Gangster of Joy.
Okay.
And so you just have to own it, because I think that they see us as gangsters all the time, and that criminals and all these things. You know what? I am a gangster of joy.
Yeah.
And I had to find it.
Yeah.
Every day our ancestors fought for it. I get to be here between you on even in rebounding. Kiss my ass. If you were not about the revolution of joy, I can't be fucking with you.
Hello.
And,
whoa.
5 years ago, I couldn't have been fucking with myself. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing you got to be honest about.
Okay. Let us tick into that, because I feel like we talk a lot about growth as society, right? But very specifically, Black folks in the Black community will be like, growth. I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm growing. The self-reflection and the self-awareness and the emotional intelligence it takes to look at yourself today and look at yourself 5 years ago and be able to say, nah, she wasn't it.
No, I'm telling you,
wasn't it.
I was anti-it. When you out here doing too much, whether it be about guilt or circumstance, because our people are in need, and you don't look at yourself, and so it becomes about your ego. And then when you're in a lot of pain, you're a little narcissistic, and so so you're mad. And I used to think I was the kind of fire to keep you warm. I was fire, wind hit south, and the fire wasn't bricked off, and it's like, whoop, and then you're like, oh shit,
there's a 5 alarm.
There's a 5 alarm. Oh shit. And for me,
and you over there like whoopsie doodles. That's not even. I didn't even mean that.
Right.
That's not even what I.
And
I have nothing to do with that.
And it's all you.
Yeah.
A Facebook memory. I'm a laugh Facebook memory, and we want Facebook to write a check to. A Facebook memory of me and my son Phoenix in the Wall Street Journal, and I didn't recognize my eyes.
Oh.
I mean, they were dead. With hurt, pain, and grief, and we see that in each other. And if I didn't have some powerful people to really hold up that mirror during that time, but the catalyst for me really was seeing that memory. And then I had people in my life who were very honest, who were like, "Ooh, girl, you on fire. Your eyes is flaming," because all of the rage and all of the things and fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I had a breakdown, and like we can laugh about it. And I talk about this so freely now. And an elder said, Cole, don't do that, because I get invited to white spaces. And I was like, that's where we need to talk about it.
Right.
Very loudly.
Right. And so, when
Very
caucasity
loudly.
running deep, no matter who you think I am, I'm still Black.
Hello.
And so, you get invited to governor tables and governor dinners. I'm like, I can eat this bland chicken nowhere, because chicken tastes better at my house. And they think they're doing us a favor when they allow us to have that. I'm like, no, we're doing you a favor. Right. And so I had to realize that and do some healing and some reflecting and a lot of apologies. And so exiting my own maze was like, ouch first. People see healing as like a douche commercial when you're running through the grass.
Yeah.
It's all pretty. No, you got chipped a tooth, your eye.
I fell.
Lip,
Right.
There's a whole cut on my forehead that won't stop bleeding.
Because you also hurt people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so exiting the maze in all the ways of being like, ooh, that's a reflection.
Okay, let's jump right into it. Exit in the maze. Because that we are currently in, we talked about, we sort of, well, we always talk about it, but we're currently living in Trump 2.0.
Yeah.
Shit.
Which to me is Stephen Miller 0.1. And
sure.
we have gotten to the point where the person who's running the presidency is a person that should, in any other circumstance, should just be playing video games by himself in his mom's basement. Like he should not have the ability to put the suit on and go outside.
Yeah.
This is a person who's supposed to just be sitting down there playing video games in the basement. And that's the person who, for as much as people are like, Elon Musk is the president or so-and-so's the president, Stephen Miller is really running the show.
Yeah.
And Stephen Miller is an incel. He's married, and it's still the same. He is a white nationalist, very loud white nationalist.
Proud one.
Got the cape and the badge.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Made it himself.
Dakota
Couldn't
ring,
wait to show everybody. Like,
All of it.
look at how
All of it.
good this is.
Yeah.
I 3D printed it. Like he can't wait. This is the life that we're now living under because one narcissist, Trump, just wanted to be a thing. And no matter the consequence because of stature, is it going to change his life or his things or whatever, right? But now we are feeling the things that if you, Black, brown, indigenous, may have been feeling in the first Trump term, like, oh, this is not good. We shouldn't do this. I don't like it. We're living it now. These were your fears then. This is happening now. The guardrails, all the things gone, right? That the first term was able to set the stage, and now we get to just hit the press play button and make it go.
They need to send out
I'm
anxiety meds.
Like, literally.
Just give us the anxiety
literally. And I don't care about an addictive property at this moment. Run me the anxiety med because this is the world that you are inflicting upon us. And when I watch Black Mirror, they make sure that the people aren't hurting when they go through the bad things. So, you know, give me the thing. Anyway, my point, very long-winded, apologies about that. My point is, we are now living the version of the Trump administration we were worried about in 2016. We're now living it. We are now watching people be deported. We are watching people get their garage doors kicked in. Also, if you're undocumented, I guess, why would you be going to my job? But we're going to jobs. We're going to, you know, like, everyone's a criminal when they want to tell you you're a criminal. Every single thing that was a, you know, due process, all of the things that mattered in the Constitution to some people at some point no longer matter, depending on who it applies to. And there are a lot of people, and very specifically Black people, that are like, how am I supposed to continue to just be here? Right? Like, and I do understand my ancestors built this country from the bottom up, and I will not leave it. I do get it. I do understand how we can have that feeling. And I am also an only child Gemini. And I'd be real quick to be like, burn it down, build it back, and move on. Like, I don't necessarily see the point to continue to live here if you don't have to. I also see the point in getting out and traveling and seeing other places. So I say all of that to say, exiting the maze. 1, how did we come upon this idea? And 2, how are we making it happen?
So this date, I went through and found it because it was really important. November 8th, 2019, when my mental health, and so this is, you guys, you got to laugh too. I had gotten my 3rd bodily harm threat, and I was about to have a show at Portland 5. And so then if something like this happens, you have to go to them and be like, so this is what's going on. And so they offered me an opportunity to say, hey, we can have security here and still have the show, or we could cancel it. We understand. And through overachievement, you know, always feeling the need to like, this is when I should have started Shut Up and Be Still. I was right then.
Relatable content.
Right then. I should have said, you know what? It's time to shut up and be still.
An opportunity is presenting itself for me to not engage.
And I didn't get it.
You're in the presence of a completionist.
You were booked.
So I was like,
you were busy.
I got things to do.
Yes.
I don't have time for this broken soul. So I'm just going to go to work. And that is us as Black people, especially as Black women.
Literally.
And so that was my choice at the time. And in an epiphany, which makes no sense right now to me after some really good therapy, was exit the maze. Originally was exiting the maze of racism out of white minds, was a DEI.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's okay to laugh. I laugh all the time.
Okay.
I laugh all the time. The most ridiculous, you know, my therapist right now,
we be having thoughts,
you know, and they don't make no sense. And that was one of them. And so that was the start of Exit the Maze in 2019. And as my mental health was failing, because it all makes sense. And then around 2022, 2023, I started meditating. And my question was, how are you going to see your own freedom? And by the end of this meditation, I realized that my last name, Reed, is in the word freedom. And my first initial is C, freedom. And so from all my autistic brothers and sisters out there, much like myself, a little bit of the ADHD thrown in for good measure.
That right in there.
I can never unsee it. And so what it turned into was exiting the maze for us about mental health and artistry, because that's what saved my life. In 2020, I was invited, and I have to do a shout out to Miss Tanisha Barnes in Marrakesh in Morocco. I was invited to an art creative circle with all Black artists. And I went there to die. My mental health was so bad. And so I want to be honest about that. I thought I just need to exit the maze. Like this is done for. And what I realized being around all of these salient artists and recognizing myself and looking in the mirror is what needed to die was the shit around me, was the pain. and so a learning and an opportunity to listen differently. And so that was like, oh my goodness. So after this meditation, all I saw was see freedom. What?
Oh.
And so it turned into like, just like that, it turned into, I don't really care about exiting anybody who is in their racist thoughts. What we need to do is get Black women, Black men, my trans brothers and sisters, all of the others who have been discounted and discontinued as the 48% who don't matter, kiss my ass, that we need a place to exit the maze.
Yeah.
And so it turned into retreat space through art, through mental health. And so talking to therapists and what can we do? And so I had this dream of maybe getting a small house that we can exit the maze for the nonprofit just to go rest. So we started doing beach trips and started going for endowments and giving money away. Like, we are all in the maze in all the different ways. Do you need help with that therapy bill, sis? We understand.
We have it.
I create because my therapist don't take my insurance. And so, and worth every penny, but we need to talk about it.
Yes.
I needed to be vulnerable and more honest.
Yes.
And after the election, I was like, the beach isn't enough. I want to go to the beach somewhere else.
Ooh.
And so I don't know if I need to break up long term with America for 3Ks, but I know I need a respite from this marriage that ain't working. And so it's not about leaving, because guess what? This is our country, but it's also about resting.
Yes.
And we ain't got to worry about who's being lynched psychologically, emotionally, or actually, man, shit. And so just that fast, since January, I was like, no. November is when the idea of let's get a place abroad. And so in Mexico, found amazing properties that we can rest. So wherever you are in the fight, if you're ready to leave long-term, place for respite with your family and kids, to come hang out. So I started looking and dreaming about boutique hotels, which are for them, AKA apartments, and not to be an expat, but a temporary immigrant. We need help. And so to be more honest, you know what I mean? Like, we are still refugees and I'm tired. My next 52 years, I want to be soft like cocoa butter on a warm day.
Hello.
And not feeling guilty about resting.
Hello.
Shut up and leave me alone. And we have to be honest. And so finding this place, we can dream about it. And so I found a boutique hotel that has like 10 plus apartments. And we're going to go. And so it's not just about me. It's about any nonprofit. It's about any person who fits within the diaspora of lost. Is that, come on and get some respite.
And Bush, you hear that?
You know what I mean?
Anybody that's in the diaspora of lost.
Bruh.
And so we're in trouble.
A bar.
Yeah.
And so let's have a place. And so May 31st, we're having a party. We're calling it the artification of living, because we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate each other, and it's a fundraiser. And so the people who are participating, and it's an art auction about stop being guilty to rest. Right. So even if you don't want to go long term, but if you want to come kick it for 6 months, a month, 3 days, and all I don't know anything about running a hotel. So that's not what it's going to be. Right. It's going to be a respite space. Yeah. It's going to be the dream space of bringing other healers and and whoever they want to bring. And that's going to be my retirement of exiting my own maze. And so if we can live in this chaos, if this motherfucker can be president, I can dream of having a place for us to exit and respite. Yeah. And so it's not just about exit the maze and Cole Reed. It's about you. I have a daughter who's trans. It's about her. Jazz, baby, I love you. And I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
And so Black folks and it is for everyone, but especially that 48%. And for me, that starts with us. It started with me.
Had to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You got to fall down so many times and then learn, be like, get back up and shit, take a nap and get your nails done. Maybe take a nap and meditate and talk to a therapist.
And then get your nails done.
If
that's what you want to do.
If that's what whatever that needs to be. without feeling guilty about it. So we're having an art auction, and the people who are participating in the last 5.5 years of learning and letting go. And so, two things, being an artist first more than anything. Oh, this is about the fire of art, and the surprises that are there are going to be amazing. We are there to make money to exit the maze together, because there's nothing like unification. And during that party, I'm not sure you guys knew, it's going to be the opening party of Chris McMurray's 3rd issue of his magazine, Artitude.
Oh.
And so give a shout out to Chris McMurray.
Yes.
The event starts at 4:00 because there's vending from 4 to 6 with the Black Diamond Society with Mr. Bobby. And I'm
Shout
also
out
one of
Mr.
those
Bobby.
artists, you know what I mean? And so it is a thank you to my elders and my ancestors and my own reflection. And did you guys know that there's a birdhouse in Portland for Black healing? 10% is going to them.
So tell them about the birdhouse, because I didn't even know what birdhouse was.
Fam said, "Did you know?" and then just stated at the show light.
Tell them what birdhouse is.
What do you mean?
It's crazy. The name of the house in Tulum is Birdhouse, Haus. There's a birdhouse here, Hous. Shout out to Shauna and Jasmine. I've been resting there. And so they've been doing this for 3 years, and guess what? They need help too. So this isn't about competition, it's about compilation.
Right.
And so I've gotten so much respite from them. All I can do is say thank you, and let's put a limelight on it.
All right. I want to give you some feedback.
Okay. Feedback.
Kyle said, Cole's glasses are the coolest. I need some.
Yes. Hard agree, Kyle. Hard agree.
Aaron Watson, Cole is such a dope visionary. Love this.
Hey, boo.
In response to exiting the maze, Joy definitely said that's definitely needed. Henry Noble said, this is not our fight. Not anymore. We stood as allies, supporters, and too often martyrs. We've raised our voices, spoken truth to power, and been transparent and honest about our experiences and sentiments towards this country. And deeply rooted institutions of racism it upholds. We've done our emotional labor, carried the weight, and made it clear where we stand. But at what cost? I refuse to keep sacrificing my peace.
I think, shout out to you, babe. I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what I'm hearing from this is it's less about the fight and more about the recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that we haven't been able to not be on the front lines forever. For our existence in this country, we have not been able to not be on the front lines.
And we all need a team.
We need a team, but also this country does not deserve us being on the front line.
Nah.
Oh, I meant personal team. No, because the country using us as a team and all of the glorious things that we brought to it, we can stay mad. I spent way too much time being mad. They were taught to do it. This had nothing to do with us. It was not for us to win. And so, it's still our country.
Wasn't our fight.
No.
Right.
But that's my,
and it's ours.
Like that's, it's ours. It's not ours. Is it right? And what I mean by that, it isn't our burden, but it isn't our fight, but it is our burden.
Yeah,
right?
Like
it ends up being the way that we end up surviving. And I don't mean just going to fight. I mean, we are forever in survival mode in some way, shape, form, or fashion in this country. What Cole is talking about is giving us a moment of respite.
That's it. I am no longer a survivalist.
Because, okay.
I'm a thrivalist.
Okay. I feel like this presents itself as the perfect time for me to talk about why no Black woman, I dare say woman, period, but some of y'all fucking weird. No Black woman wants to be at the end of your fucking zombie movie or make it to the end of the apocalypse situation, the dystopian thing that you got going for me, because what's at the end of that? The end of that is I fucking recreate whatever the population. Hard pass.
That's why Jason never went to Cabrini Green.
That-
Like, he knew.
The hardest pass. I want no parts.
Yeah.
I do not want to have every zombie baby to be able to like repopulate this planet that's on its way to dying anyway.
Mm.
That's not the end that I want for me, right? I not only know that I deserve better, but I know that Black women are not given better. And as options, respite ain't one of them.
So when there's a bestseller,
What's the word?
Yes.
What does it even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like respite. What do you like? We don't get it.
Because we're too busy being resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've come to resent the word resilient.
Same.
Because the expectation, and then we don't even realize that I expect you to be resilient too.
Because aren't you?
And
I'm doing it. Aren't you doing it?
And so then
aren't you doing the resilient?
That's right. And then we do it to each other.
Carol, are you doing the resilience right now? Every single time.
Everybody.
Can't help it.
And so here I am, like, I don't want to be resilient all the time. I want to be rested. I want to have a drink with an umbrella in it. I want to take that next meeting on the beach because we have earned it.
Bruh.
Listen.
And our ancestors earned it. My mom had the same fight. My grandmother had the same fight. My grandmother, like so many of us, was a maid. Like so many of our, and so what I say all the time, and her name was Lena. So all my power tools, because I'm a builder, they're named Lena. Because she cleaned the floors.
Nice.
So my mother can build the floors. So I
Okay.
can stand on the floors.
Okay.
And so when you're your own Trinity, like all of us are, whether you know them or not, it is okay to rest and not have guilt. And I just learned this yesterday. So I'm not trying to.
This is the whole point.
My healing is topical.
Right.
Because I'll also curse you out.
Why are you so tired? Right now?
Yes,
get to work.
I am Namaste adjacent.
Yeah.
And so you have to.
Where's AJ in the chat? Because she is forever always telling me rest, and I'm like, I'm next to it.
Shut up and be still.
I'll be back. I'll get there.
I'm close. I'm close.
And I'm learning now. So and you have to say I'm sorry, and you have to say thank you. And I'm resistant to resilient because I just want peace, not just for me, for you. And again, my kids. I have 3 beautiful kids, and when you check out, you're not the best.
No, and so can't be.
And when you're scared all the time,
you're not the best.
You're not the best. And so to my kids, I love you, and Mama is sorry, and thank you. We do this, and so we have to talk about it and hug them more. And hug ourselves. So I'd be like giving facial massages.
Yo,
I'm in my tent, and it's okay. People are like, "Cool, it's weird."
Calling the tent.
Yes, I'm hot as shit, and it is okay. But you know what? Leave me the fuck alone. And sometimes you need a jar of fucks and to take them off the counter.
Right.
And so I'm learning.
It's not just okay. It's an example.
Well, it's important
it's an example. It's a demonstration.
I was gonna say it's an example. No, it's a demonstration. It's a reminder that this is important to your life, not just her life, not just my life, right. It's a reminder that that's important to your life. You don't have to carry it every single second, every single moment of your life. You can put that on the counter. You can set it down.
You know what I mean? And that's what I had to, because we're hard and we don't hug each other enough. And so I give something away every day and I give compliments and thank yous. And so to the Exit the Maze team, because it's not just me, P, Megan, Alice, what? I got a list. Wait, no, I'm serious. Because this
get to the book, baby. Get to
the book. Special need brothers and sisters. Carol, Joshua, Teresa, Butterfly, my family, Mr. B, Collage, all the Chris's, my therapist, the elders and the ancestors, shit, like just everybody.
There's a moment of me that knows that when you say all the Chris's, it has nothing to do with the Marvel universe, but I live with Ambush.
Doesn't it?
Ambush will be like,
doesn't it?
There's 7 Chris's inside of.
So that's because I have a full committee. So I have a full committee. And I relied on the committee too long because I wasn't talking about my pain.
Right.
And so even the committee gets tainted. Because if all you got is like the 7 of y'all, because I've got 7, hanging up there in pain and mad, I mean, shit.
Somebody gonna have to.
You know, ancestors had to come for me.
We're gonna have to break that up.
Yeah.
We have to put something, put a little boogie in your butt. Like it can't just be. It can't be bad all the time.
And that's why the name of this event is the Artification of Living.
I'm glad you brought it right back around to that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted. It was excellent.
You know,
it was excellent.
I'm trying to be
you
when I grow up.
I mean, we started with Segway Queen. Did we not? Did we start with there? We started with
ADHD.
The reason I want to jump back to that is because we're getting a lot of really positive responses and energy.
Killing it when it comes to a segue.
We're getting
Your brand of ADHD.
We're getting a lot of positive responses and energy in all of the chats right now. So I want to remind everyone, this event is coming up. It's 31st.
May 31st, Saturday.
Saturday, May 31st, we'll be hosting, and we'll also be doing a live podcast session that day. So everyone that is feeling Cole's energy and is understanding this movement,
bring your checkbook.
Come through. Like,
invite your white friends.
For sure.
Yes, for sure. Come through. Be a part of the conversation.
We take credit cards.
Hello.
Is there anyone in your family that has like a weather in the last name? You know, like, so it's a Merriweather. Like those are Mayweather.
And
there's money behind that name, and I know it. Is that your name?
The theme is bejeweled. You know, cum is your favorite stone. Are you a ruby? You know,
cum
amber.
Is my favorite.
I mean, like,
stone?
and whatever that looks like.
Stone, any stone.
Do you, boo? What I'm saying is, like, we are.
Carol, I'm gonna tell you this. They done fucked around, and then we're gonna find out when I show up.
And so this is really about the celebration of filling our cracks with gold. You know, just because we're broken doesn't mean that we don't have more value when we figure out what the problem is and put it back together. And so it's gold, it's gemstones. Come as whoever you are, but come. And so then the Artification of Living, and then I've got my first solo art show. And I changed the name. Yeah, it's the first time.
No. First time in a long time, or first time in a.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I'm grateful because I've been an artist and I've had solo shows and I've been able to show with some amazing people.
Yeah.
But part of my healing was letting go of a lot of the work that I created. And so the name of the art show is the Artification of Letting Go. So we've got the Artification of Living and the Artification of Letting Go. Art Peace, PEACE, because that's how I got my peace. And that's Saturday, June 7th at Souvenir Gallery, Alberta. And even the name Souvenir, I'm my own souvenir. And so it's loving myself deeper and giving myself the hugs and saying it's okay to create again, because my depression created fire. It was fire. I mean, some amazing stuff, but I was in a place and I'm just let it go. So the Artification of Letting Go.
My depression is not allowing my eyebrows to make sense of what you're saying right now. I'm just like, like what?
And it's okay for us to talk about it.
For real.
Nah.
You know, we eat our pain. I mean, I love Jack's chicken, but I had a lot of Jack's chicken.
Shout out to Jack's.
Shout out to Jack's.
Shout out to Jack's every single day.
Jack's.
Shout out to,
give me that chicken. Hold on, real quick. Give me that chicken. Also, give me those JoJo's. Jay's Cuts and Wraps.
Bruh.
Run the menu. Like, it's a problem. Like,
Have
I
you
can't.
had Jay's Cuts and Wraps yet?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I spend too much time at open house, and that's where the party is at open house.
Oh, the party is at open house. We're going to have to get the fuel for the party to come from Jay's Cuts and Wraps.
Rex
and the
Whiskey,
reason I say
if you're
that.
over 21.
Oh.
Shout out to Chauncey King. Yep. Rex Whiskey's going to be in the house.
Oh, nice.
Yes. We are acting a fool.
Like, I'm not trying to do too much. We are not sponsored. No. I'm telling you, we're not sponsored. This is just a place that I absolutely love. And the food is banging every single time. And it's right here. This is a local person who has lived many places too, who continues to figure out their craft, their thing, and food is banging.
Yeah, they got a real dope menu. Hip hop.
All hip hop centered.
Yeah.
Jay's Cuts and Wraps. J
Yeah.
'S, not JAY.
Compilation. What you're doing is a compilation mixtape, and that's what we need. And that's why the event is celebrating. Chris is celebrating Birdhouse, because we have to say thank you.
Yes.
And why be in the struggle when we can be in the boat together?
Facts. Anyone that needs information on the Artification of Living, I just posted the flyer to our Instagram. The flyer is there. Go ahead, share
Alice
it.
Price.
Good man.
Get it out.
Alice Price designed the flyer.
Alice
Alice,
Price
the
was
homie.
dope.
Alice stays in the chat.
You
My
know
actual wife.
what?
Alice
You know
stays
In
the
real
chat.
life. Alice.
And Alice also donated a piece to.
Stop.
Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready.
I'm not ready. Y'all not ready. They not ready.
I mean, like Gita. I mean, some of the artists who came through, and Alice is also on the team. And guess what? She is directing the show with me, and she's getting rest for the event, but she's part of the design squad on the event. So all of the shout outs, this is what I'm saying. This is a compilation. This is a mixtape of hope, is what I call this. And so you have to say thank you, please, and I'm sorry to everything that, because we are about to get insane.
All of it.
That's why the show is Artification of Letting Go, and Alice is also my teacher. And
Alice.
so it's sometime like, girl, let go. And so we remind each other.
And when it happens.
Yeah.
Because here's my question for you.
Tell me.
When Alice says to you, girl, you got to let go.
You know, she did it today. She had me crying in the conference room. I'm going to go ahead and call it because I was so nervous.
Can you do it?
You know, this is why, honestly, we can do it.
Yeah.
And so this is where the we becomes so
fair.
opulent is because that's why I asked you guys, they are hosting.
Yeah.
And so when you say the podcast is there, because I knew the capacity and how I wanted to enjoy it wasn't there. And so I was so scared and my anxiety, and I was like, oh, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. And so why not get the dopest mofos? And so what happened is my friends answered the phone because, you know, they're busy. My friends answered the phone. and so it's vulnerable. And so my energy is all over the place. Yeah. And, you know, when you have something she like
feel it, she can hear it, she knows it.
You know, I mean, we all have harm happen. And mine was public, you know, and I still want to I don't want to be on stage. I want to build them. And so I don't need to be in the front all the time.
Right.
And so the most important thing for me in that event is to enjoy it. And this is the first time I'm doing that. So that's why I'm giving so many shout outs is my anxiety is all the way through the roof, and the creation and this and coming together in this movement and just not wanting to create the wheel, but be a part of a bigger wheel. And so you say, please, thank you. And please, baby, please. Please, baby. So, you know, bring your mushroom belt and your matching shirt and coordinated socks because you got to coordinate. You got to coordinate. And we're going to have some fun. And again, that's why so many shout outs, because it's a collaboration. And that's what I'm about and what I need for me. You know, the fire runs deep. And sometimes, like I said, shut up and be still.
Right.
So let's go to Mexico, y'all. And I can't wait to show you the space. Like I said, many apartments, rest, relaxation, and our own personal zen.
And best believe we're doing a show from there. Best believe we're doing a show from there.
Yeah, we go open house first, and then we go directly to Tulum. Like that's
you know what?
My plan.
If I could, the plan? If I could be there right now, I'm in Tulum right now. Actually, I'm in Tulum right now. Hola. And so learn some Spanish. And so we're going in with not the initiative to take over, but the initiative to be seen and ask for help.
I just want to give some feedback real fast because the chat is chatting.
Can I have a drink?
This is your moment for respite.
Okay.
Yes. Cicely said, love this conversation and my new thrivalist philosophy.
Hello.
That's all you. Boom. Kyle said, art piece speaks to me on so many levels. My soul is latching on to Cole. This is incredible. And Michelle said, one seriously incredible convo. Like what this does for me, because I had questions, but who needs them when you have conversation, right? I know the idea, and I more than understand why we would need to be able to take a moment away from here, right?
We all need a nap from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot. I need a nap from me. Shit.
I need a nap from me.
Cheeto, shit.
I know I'm a lot. I know I am.
Here's a lot to
I know you're.
Cheers. Here's to being a lot.
That's it.
Hmm.
I'm understanding the importance of joy and rest.
Shut up and be still.
Shut up and be still is such a fucking bar. I'm not
Shut
going to
up
be
and
able
be
to
still.
like move forward from that.
Right.
I want to talk about just really quickly because you're not from here. Ambush isn't from here. I am from here.
Why you look at me like that? Like you just found out.
No.
I just want to hear, where are you from? And then I know I have 17 follow-up questions from the answer to that.
Let's see. I'm originally from Chicago.
Shot time.
Mhm.
Okay.
My mom was raised in Cabrini Green. Yeah. And look.
So I'm going to call you Candyman or I will call you Barack Obama. One of the two. Which one would you like?
You know what? I kind of like Obama.
Okay.
I kind of like Obama.
Okay.
But I really want to be Michelle. Actually. I really want to be Michelle.
I just said Obama. That leaves it open.
Thank you.
Does it not?
Yes.
Okay. Coming from Chicago, which if you grew up in Portland, or you grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if this is true for the Midwest, so I don't want to be inclusive when I shouldn't be or whatever. Here, it was very much, we don't have our own thing. So we were everywhere. We're paying attention to everything. I am listening to all the music. I am watching all the people. You are a poet in Chicago? I'd love to know about it. Like, there wasn't a stop you because that's not here, right? And I say that because bigger cities with larger Black populations have a different response to things than here.
Facts.
I'm going to say yes and.
Hit me with the and, babe.
Because you know what Portland does have? It has a Mr. B.
Go on.
You know, when you have somebody like Mr. Bobby Fowler, dancer, who was one of my mentors and who started Black Diamond Society.
Yes.
I was a part of a show at the Portland Art Museum for Black artists. And that's one of my Zen places, but also with caucasity, you have to say, wait, what? Even being in one of those artists, the show was billed as the first time that many Black artists had been together. And I was like, that's an embarrassment, you guys.
Maybe don't say that out loud.
When you have someone like Black Butterfly, you know,
right.
And these are people that I get to learn from all the time. They're here.
Yep.
And so when you have, you know, a place like Portland, and this is from an outsider's perspective, so please don't burn down my house. You know, where it's 75% white, 25% other, and a rotating amount of 3 to 6% Black people, that's a different psychology.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. I count Black people every day. I came in and said, Ambush, hey, 17. You know what I mean? And the first person you count as yourself, that does something different psychologically to you. And that is something that I didn't understand. The Pacific Northwest is beautiful.
Yes.
And our people are beautiful and have been doing it since the beginning of time, because you've also got the Nike Greens. You've got these people,
of course,
you know, Herman. I mean, like what? And so you have those things. And so I have to pause and look at that, because even with all the trauma, that was also a part of my healing. You know, and that kind of magic and those kind of energy workers. And so even though sometimes it's like that, look at what we have. Mr. Bobby wouldn't have been seen.
And this is not me asking, what are we lacking? This was
I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, well, you didn't. What I guess what I mean to ask is, coming from a Black art rich environment, coming here, which I'm again from here, I'm going to always call this a Black art rich environment because I am enveloped in Black art.
I get to hang with Alice Price all the time. What?
Right.
Stop. Like, I don't know why
I
you
mean,
keep trying to
like,
make me
ha ha.
jealous. Like, that's weird.
I
You're on
got
my
your
show. What's the?
girlfriend.
Yes, you literally do. I'm not sure what to do with this. Alice, we'll talk to each other about it. Maybe. I don't know.
She's all like,
Literally, because Cole is standing on me on my own show, and I'm not sure what to do about that. But like, you're always.
So I'm also inspired. You know, you have someone like AJ who started Equity Giving Circle during a pandemic.
Hello.
Quit playing with me.
With 2 nickels and some hopes.
Literally,
and
like,
then,
I hope it works out. I'll just do this with my girlfriends.
You know what
like,
I mean? So it's like, how can you, and I get to be here. So another thing I lost was gratitude. And so something that Portland, we can talk about what gave away, but it also reminded me of the level of gratitude.
Mhm.
Look where I'm at right now. This is the first time I've done this in 5 years because you answered your phone. What?
Because you did.
You know what I mean? Like, no, because you did.
I mean, I hear you, but
you know what
also.
I mean? So we have to look at that.
Yeah.
In a place like Chicago, guess what? There's Black creatives all the time. And our story is
We're all working
like slavery. And that's the first thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go to a certain newspaper that is anti-Black in town. I'm sorry. I felt that a little bit. You know who you are.
A little bit.
But I wanted to be here. And so, you know, for me, it's also nourishing. And so you are the sound of my water. And so we all have to be aware to create a ripple from the wave. And so it's also more noticeable here.
Right.
And so with the resilience also came the hope and the Mr. Bobbies and the Aunt Liz's and the collages, you know, and so that when I allowed it, when I, you know, to see it,
okay,
it's gonna be okay. And we can say fuck you at the same time.
1,000%.
Facts.
And I know that Ambush is going to be like, Morgan,
That's
we got to be, we're almost done.
Okay. They're telling me to be quiet. It's almost done.
No one's telling you to be quiet.
Absolutely not.
Just one of the things that I want other people to know is you're from Chicago. You've been here how long?
I've been, wow, it'll be 11 years. And Open House's anniversary is 10 years.
Wow.
In October. And, you know, since I'm here, I also want to say Open House Co-working, every Friday is Black Friday for the last 6 years, where we open the doors for coworkers of color to come work for free. Because I need you.
Say
and that's
it
also
again.
been a part of my healing is when we have salons. And so I had to change my environment of enrichedness. People think that, oh, you guys started open or Black Friday to give to community. No, it was selfish. It was selfish. And so for me, I refer to it as melanated medicine because I needed you, not to suck your energy, but to be of your energy.
Right.
And so that's what this is. At what point do we say peace?
At what point do we get to live in it? We're about to find out. Because Cole's literally making that possible for us.
Because there's so many organizations, there's so many people in town that I've learned from. You know, you can't do something like this with not being built into and loved. So you have the butterflies,
real
the collages,
shit.
You know, the Shalandas. You have all of the people who, you know, I'm so grateful because, and my therapist, Elle, thank you. And you've got, you know, the openers of Birdhouse for people who have been harmed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
My girl, Catherine Watkins, who's going to be spitting a poem, and she sued the Beaverton School District because of some racist shit. And so look around us. We're still having this. So you know what I am? I'm awake from their wave too. And so as much as I'm a wave, I'm awake.
Period.
And so I went through a portion of I can't be your mentor because I'm mentee. We ain't got to have all the answers.
If I can just take a real quick second to say that I know we have to go, Ambush, but
thank you.
We've been talking about very specifically certain groups within America that are not just violent, not just ignorant. They are coveted and they are extra. And what she left out when she said threats of harm, I will just say that there are groups of people that, no, I'll do this. The Proud Boys have been completely detrimental to a lot of people's lives. One of those lives, very specifically, is Cole Reed in Portland, Oregon. And when I'm saying that very specifically, to be clear that domestic terrorism doesn't look like what you think it does, but it looks like what I've told you it looks like. And that is white men, some brown men, sometimes black men, very much doing white supremacy openly, loudly, extra.
Facts.
They can call it whatever they want to, but in the moment, it is fascism, it is white supremacy, it is literal racism. They are doing everything they can to harm a person without physically harming a person, right? You are looking at a person who has been threatened multiple times by a group, by multiple groups, by all sorts of people who resilience is literally not what we are trying to go for. That's not the crown any Black woman wants to wear. It is what we have to do to continue to survive. Just here to continue to do what I want to do. Nothing to do with anybody else, right? I just wanted to get some. I wanted to go to Taste Tickler today. I want to get a spicy chicken. You know,
Is it too much?
No.
just as a Black woman, that's what is it too much to ask to do the thing I wanted to do today?
We gonna go get some chicken. Let's get some chicken.
You are not, if you are not under threat in that way, you'll never understand what it means to be under threat in that way. And I want to be real clear because Lily and I were talking about this in 2016, 2017. The Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, every single one of these homegrown fucking domestic terrorists that do not get that label because they are white or adjacent or just live within the white supremacy doctrine.
Or they need their meds.
Or they're just police.
You know,
I don't care if they
off-duty
need meds,
cops.
and I don't care if they're police. So
Off-duty
And
cops.
also- and
They'll never get the label.
Just
They're
just
off-duty
turn their
cops.
mics off.
Yeah, they're off-duty cops.
Because that's exactly all
Right.
of those things are rampant.
Mm-hmm.
These are people making decisions very much on their own. This is not me saying they haven't been indoctrinated and all those things. I'm just saying they're people making decisions on their own. The fallout of it is more than you could ever fucking imagine. And when we have to, as people, decide, how do I get out of this particular thing? Know that the thing that you are inflicting is worse than you could have ever imagined.
the maze. Exit the maze. And that's what I'm saying. Whatever maze.
That's
that
all I was getting
is,
to.
The maze. Because also with that though, I had somebody chanting and doing ceremony around my building. You know, I had a brother from a different mother, Ethan, who had a piece, and I don't mean peace. He's like, I wish a motherfucker would.
One of them
And,
pieces.
That's
you
a
know,
piece.
I like them pieces.
I had
Yeah,
an
that's
elder-
Ambush's favorite
You know what I
piece.
mean?
I love them
I had
pieces.
an elder come and put a 380 and be like, Cole, you need to learn
Just
to
sit
shoot.
it down right there.
You know what I mean? And I was like, what? And so I had that love. And so what I'm going to say is, please look around you because the strongest need the most help.
Hello.
You know, and
Checking
be
your
and it's
strong
okay to be
friends.
vulnerable. And I learned yesterday, so I'm not trying to Dr. Phil or Oprah nobody. You know what I mean? I am not, you know what I mean? I'm not Aya. You know, Ashe. And so you have to realize where you are in your own maze and be honest. And so that's what I wanted to share, because it was time for me to be vulnerable and say thank you and I'm sorry, and let's get the fuck out and have some umbrella drinks and have some edibles and it's okay.
Because
breathe.
Yeah,
I'm hearing the word breathe. Carol, do you hear breathe? I'm
you know,
all right.
I got a breathing coach.
Heavy
I mean,
one.
you know what I mean? Like, and so the investment was also from the people around me who prayed over me, who chanted with me, who put their hands on me and loved me through and talked me through. And we all need more of that. So Exit the Maze is about art and mental health. You know, like, let's be honest.
And if we could just like leave it with mental health is also your physical health and also your well-being, period.
All
like
tied together.
If we could just like put it all together and know every single body in the chat, know that the things go together. It's all connected. Watch The Wire if you need that reference. Literally, it's all connected.
Yeah. Give yourself a hug.
Ooh.
You know, facial massage. Right now, if you were at home and I just jacked the microphone, give yourself a hug. I give myself 3 hugs a day like medicine because I forgot how valuable I was, that I needed that medicine.
Okay. We have to close out the show.
Yeah, man.
So what you have to tell us is where everyone can find you and where they can support you.
Everybody other than the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
We ain't fucking with you. Please exit your own maze.
My gosh.
Please exit your own maze and get a different hobby.
The red pill is so dumb.
And so May 31st, Saturday, between 4 and 6, the Black Diamond Society with Mr. Bobby is having a little market out front. And then between 6, 8, 10, we don't know, the artification of living profoundly. We are having a jewel party to celebrate ourselves, the ancestors, and it's my 52nd birthday party. So yes, May 14th.
No, you said May 14th.
No, May 14th was my birthday, but May 31st is a celebration, you know, and because I'm learning to celebrate myself and not my ego.
Finally?
You know, like yesterday, like in a soulful way.
Yeah.
And I want to celebrate you. And so that's why it's the jewel party. Come as you are, because I want you to know you're a jewel, boo.
Hello.
You know what I mean? We ain't resilient.
Let's do it.
I mean, we're not survivalists. We're thrivalists.
Hard rock.
And so I want to come and thrive with you and bring your checkbook. Bring your checkbook, because there's going to be some dope art, some dope people, some dope sounds. And then there's these two who promised to come to help me with my anxiety to get it together. And
we're going to do it.
Do we have a hint on your outfit? Because I know.
No, that's me and you talking for the next 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Joy, it is not formal.
Boom. Well, you know what? It is. Come stylistically fabulously yourself. So if dope feels like a prom dress and some Converse, you do that.
Right.
Oh, that's me all day.
You know what I mean? And if dope feels like a 3-piece suit, let me see
Sneakers, for sure.
You know, wear it. You know, do you feel like silver or gold? Do you feel like rubies? Do you feel like emeralds? Where are you at right now?
That's you.
It's you.
I'm gonna tell you what I learned real quick, and I'm not going to conform in the way that I already refuse to conform. And what I mean by that is I grew up with a dad and a grandmother who were like, here are the rules.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you will do the rules. And I was like, I'm gonna do some of the rules. I'm so down with some of the rules. I'm wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
I'm doing my hair how I want to. Top and bottom are mine.
Yes.
I guess the in between is yours.
That's right.
You know, they didn't love it. Doesn't matter. The end of it is that's me, right? Like I'm showing up to your thing.
Yeah.
The top and bottom is me.
Yes. But you're your own jewel.
So
that's the point.
Put the jewel in the middle and figure the
I might have a crown on, so you never know.
Hello.
You know what I mean?
You better.
Oh, I will.
Okay, let me stop trying to.
I will. And so I wear a crown every day as my own medicine, no matter what it is, to cover my ears and my third eye, because that's not for everybody. And that's what I had to learn, is for myself.
You know, Ambush, my headphones do not cover my third eye.
They don't.
But we can make you some though, because that's what I'm.
Because that's what I
Give me
need.
some headphones with some.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's our new product.
Please. Because my headphones be
Dr. Dre, can we talk?
handle the situation.
No, I'm serious. We can have some
No,
third eye.
I am
headphones,
super here for this.
And then we can
Cole?
exit the maze. Yes, baby.
We're gonna have to do this again.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely.
I was so nervous.
Literally. No, I mean, you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Know that you ate no crumbs. There's literally nothing for you to do left except for me being like, I guarantee I have questions later. You know, like that's me being like greedy.
Mm-hmm.
You killed this.
Yes. Amazing.
Thank you.
Y'all made it so easy. Y'all made it so easy.
Thank you
You
for
sitting down with
being here.
friends.
And thank you. Let's do this. Let's heal and party a little bit and have some umbrella drinks.
That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. That's all.
Heal,
Thank you.
Umbrella drinks,
Shut up and be
sometimes
still.
Mexico.
Shut up and be still.
Shut up and be still.
Mhm.
You know, and it's okay not to invite fuckery in. When you go into my office, there's a sign that says this is an
Amber doesn't know this.
anti-fuckery environment.
Refuse it.
I'm gonna
Rebuke
tell you
it.
that
You know,
he doesn't
so
know
at
that.
the door.
He's gonna.
Refuse
He's
and
gonna,
rebuke it.
You know, put cinnamon around.
I
the
love how
house.
you're
That's
saying
okay.
it, but like I feel like you are the most fuckery inducing, bringing into like this is hilarious. I'd love to laugh about it.
The amount of things I watch without sound, you know.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I do not
Fair
invite
enough.
that shit.
You got me there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for saying yes. Thank you.
Thank you
saying
for-
yes.
Easy. Easy.
They invited me on. I said yes, and I was like,
I don't
"What?"
even know what to do when someone said we asked you. What do you mean when we said yes?
It's a whole
What-
thing.
to host the party. You know.
Oh,
when
very
I, when I,
easy.
when
Very,
I called,
very,
I was
very,
like,
very.
"Ooh, shit, I don't know."
In any regard, let me be very clear. There's like 3 people in Portland. I'm only about to name 2. One is Cole. One is Rashonda. You asked me to do. You asked me to do it. I'm doing it. I'm not about to ask
Yeah,
you a bunch of
Rashonda knows
questions.
that.
I may talk to somebody else about the details about it.
and that's healing. Thank you.
And I'm saying there. You just know when you know.
Mhm.
You
And
just
know
know
when
when
to
you
go.
know. That too. But literally. So, Ambush,
Ambush.
Do your thing.
Can I get some
is it my
outro
turn
music?
first or?
Always.
It's always my turn first. Carol, I never know it's my turn first. That's another version of News with My Fiance. Monday night, Raw Live, in person, live Raw, in the books. Thank you for spending this quality time with us.
Hello, hello. This episode was made possible by our in-studio crew, Jess,
Thank
and
you.
our
Meow.
remote crew, Kyle of Residual Audio, and Michelle and Rossum. Shout out to our studio sponsors, L&J Industries, for providing this dope space each and every single week. And of course, huge thanks to y'all for listening and staying engaged. We did pick up 2 more subscribers on
Yeah.
YouTube. Thank you very much for that. And we definitely encourage you to join us on Patreon. There are free levels. There are definitely free levels. So get on in there, become a part of the community.
Stay engaged with us all week. Follow us on Instagram, News with My Fiance. Follow Ambush over at Scambeezy. That's with a K. Follow me at Portland Morgan. Become a member. Sock it to our pockets. Patreon.com/News with My Fiance.
Go ahead and hit the website. We have the voter guide up. The merch store is up. So, you can cop a little things. Also, this week, I am spinning a 2000s party, interestingly enough. Thursday night, I'm spinning the 90s party, but that's a private event.
Good luck.
Friday night, I'm spinning a 2000s party, but that is a public event, and that's at the Star Theater. And then Sunday, we got myself and DJ Cliff spinning No Requests. So, catch us out there. But just shout out our Patreon sponsors: Casey, C's, Sharebear, Ella, Jay, Katie, Kyle, Michelle, Olivia Ross, and our growing stable of Free 99 Fiancés.
Ew.
Thank you so much for your support and encouragement and staying engaged with us. But y'all know what it is. Those are individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits, power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free.
Hello.
No war but class war. And we will see you Thursday morning, 7:30 a.m. on Next Ray FM.